from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's America's favorite gun-toting, Bible-clinging, deplorable American.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Todd Starnes.
Oh, yeah.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Todd Starnes Radio Show. Ladies and gentlemen of America, there is no need to panic. If you are teetering on the edge of the cliff, just step away. Just take a few steps back. There's no need to hit the panic button just yet. And I know that last night was a bit of a shock for a lot of folks, and I get that. I understand that. But it's going to be okay. And yesterday was no doubt an ugly thing that happened in politics, and what are you going to do? It is what it is. But we're going to break all of this down today, and I want to try to give you an idea of what really happened and where we're going here, because there's a lot of doom and there's a lot of gloom. And it's okay. It's okay to feel dejected. It's okay to be concerned, and I think we ought to be concerned. But if any of you have listened to this radio program for the past 6 months, you know that I was warning you about what was going to happen. And really for the past couple of weeks, we've been warning you and trying to prepare you for what happened yesterday. And those of you who have been longtime listeners, you guys were not terribly shocked or horrified by what happened in this nation. Now, we're gonna discuss some hard truths. I also want to hear from you and hear your take on things. Many of you live in these battleground states where all of these elections happened, and the Republican losses happened. Now, behind closed doors, President Trump is actually telling the Republicans really what happened. He's giving them the what for, if you will. And they need to hear it, but the president needs to hear it as well, because at the end of the day, the administration has been doing a great job in foreign policy. But the reality is we did not elect President Trump for his foreign policy. We elected President Trump because he promised to put America first and to make America great again. And right now we're watching a lot of other countries being made great again. And I'm just telling you that we need to do a better job of making sure, and the White House needs to do a better job of making sure that they are staying focused on what really matters. Now, the president is out there saying, and the entire administration is out there saying the economy is great. The economy is booming. People have jobs. People have money. And yet the reality of it is most of you do not. Most of you are suffering. Many of you have to have a couple of jobs just to make ends meet. And again, my frustration, though, is really not with President Trump. My frustration is with Congress because they've done nothing. I mean, they have truly done nothing. And I am really concerned because there will be a moment when literally nothing will get done because everybody's focused on the midterm elections, and Congress is not going to do anything to upset that apple cart. So it very well could be that we go into the midterms and not a single serious piece of legislation, executive order-wise, has been codified by Congress. We could be marching into the midterms under the same budgeting as Joe Biden had. And we haven't cut anything from the budget. The big, beautiful bill actually increases the amount of taxpayer money we're spending on the government. All the DOGE cuts, it was great political theater, I suppose, but those cuts are not permanent. So what about all the people getting laid off? You know, the president was going to go in and completely eliminate departments, lay people off. Has that actually happened? What about the Department of Education? Has the Department of Education been abolished? And let me say something. When you look at what happened last night, especially in New York City, the number of young people that have been educated in our public schools through critical race theory, through the lens of DEI, those are the people that elected a communist as the next mayor of New York City. So all that to say, the Do Nothing Congress, I mean, what have they been doing? The Do Nothing Congress is partly responsible for yesterday. The American people are expecting things to happen. Now, let me say this about the economy. I get it. It's going to take a little while for all of this to get worked out. And until that happens, many of us are going to have to pay more for groceries. Many of us are not going to be able to afford a house. Your rent is going to be extraordinary. I get that. But here's where the administration has to step in. And they should have been very clear with people that it's going to take a long time. You know, they're not teaching people economics in schools these days. So the administration needed to do a better job of that. This is an interesting demographics coming out of New York City. It turns out that native New Yorkers, those are people that were born in New York City, native New Yorkers rejected Mamdani, while people living in New York less than 5 years overwhelmingly voted for Mamdani. In other words, the Democrats, the Dems, have literally imported a new demographic of voters. How long have you lived in New York City? Less than 5 years? 85% of those people voted for Mamdani. So there you go. So we've got that going for us. The situation in New York City, it's going to be bad. And I hate to break it to you good people in New York, but you get what you vote for. And I know your choices were not great, but you really picked the wrong guy here. All that to say, there have been surveys saying that as many as 1 million people may be leaving New York City. And just a message, a word to the refugees coming out of New York City. Don't come to Tennessee. We're full. As a matter of fact, I would recommend Nebraska, somewhere out there. But don't bring your liberal politics to the volunteer state, because we got no place for you. And I suspect many of you others feel the same way. I feel bad for Virginia. The Republicans there got crushed. And I know there are some out there, and they're trying to suggest that, what happened yesterday is not a big deal for Republicans. It's a big deal. And you have to look at the down ballot races. What is it, 13, 14 Republicans were wiped out of the House of Delegates in Virginia? Not only that, the people of Virginia electing Jay Jones as their attorney general. The Democrats in Virginia apparently have no issue with the fact this guy wanted to go out there and he dreams about killing conservatives, watching their children die. That's insane. It's a little scary, too. Lots of godless, demonic vermin in the Commonwealth. But the Democrats are now officially on the record as saying they support candidates who endorse violence against their opponents. Let that sink in. What does that tell you about the state of affairs in this country? So, look, I appreciate our president flying all over the world and meeting with world leaders. I get all that, and you got to do that. But it seems like that's all we've been doing. The first 7 months of the presidency, that's all we've been doing. We don't have a lot of time. The clock is ticking. But, Tom, we got 4 years. No, we don't have 4 years. We may just have until the midterms. But, again, you've got to look at all the damn ballot races. Georgia Public Service Commission, I know that's a very obscure race, but that was on the ballot in Georgia yesterday. And for the first time, I think in 25 years, for the first time, Democrats won seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission. 5 seats, all held by Republicans. 2 Democrats just picked up seats. That's strange. You folks in Texas dealing with a lot of these amendments, you folks, Republican-led amendments, completely failed. And not to mention what happened out in California where the Republicans completely dropped the ball. And when it came to Prop 50, there was literally no ground game. And that went down it was not even close. It was like 80-some-odd% of the people. In one county, I was hearing, someone sent me a note yesterday, in Orange County, that area of California, 700,000 Republicans stayed home and did not vote. Folks, if you don't go out and vote, well, that's on you. That's on you. So, look, we're going to be taking your calls, your thoughts about what happened yesterday. Do you have concerns? Is this not a big deal? 901-260-5926. Our number, that's 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
He's not bitter. He's blessed. Todd Starnes.
Hey folks, Todd Starnes here. What's your plan when the smartest investors who never lose pile into gold and silver? They're buying now, watching value climb. Are you okay with missing out, seeing them thrive while you wait? Vault U.S. Gold is the answer, trusted by pros. They offer gold IRAs to secure your retirement and gold and silver delivered, shipped, and insured to your door. Want to roll over your 401k? Well, their experts make it seamless, honest every step. Why Vault U.S.? Well, they're steady, reliable, no tricks, just value. Gold's hot. Don't regret sitting this out. Call 833-511-GOLD. That's 833-511-4653 or visit vaultusgold.com/Todd for a free investor kit. That's 833-511-GOLD or 833-511-4653 and get your free investor kit. And say Todd Starnes sent you. Vault U.S. Gold. Buy smart, win big. Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and there's no better time to get in shape than right now. That's why I'm really excited that Calitrin is part of my weight loss campaign. Here's my friend Elizabeth from Calitrin.
That's right. It can be overwhelming when you see the number on the scale and you've got, 30, 40, 50, even 100 pounds to lose. But, y'all, the hardest part is just getting started, and Calitrin's going to help you do that. You're going to lose the weight the right way, without drugs, without stimulants, so it's safe with all your medications, and where you can maintain it and keep it off even after you get off of the product. So go to the website right now, toploss.com. You're going to see there's a huge sale with discounts on every single month of Calitrin, $10 off every single bottle. It's at toploss.com, or you can call us with questions toll-free, 833-TOP-LOSS.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and be sure to use that promo code TODD.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. and they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Well, one of the good stories came out of Texas, where on these propositions, one of them requires, ladies and gentlemen, U.S. citizenship. You got to prove your U.S. citizenship to vote. I like that. I was going to go to Kathy in Texas, but we'll get back to Kathy in just a moment. Our telephone number, 901-260-5926. Let's go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line and say hello to our good friend Josh Jones, who's been following the situation in Virginia. Josh, how do you sum up what happened there in the Commonwealth last night?
Look, I mean, to be clear, it's a rough night for Republicans. Obviously, there's no getting around that. At the end of the day, it's a post-presidential election cycle. And I talked about it yesterday. I know I've mentioned it before. We had the curse of the Potomac in Virginia, but it applies broadly speaking to elections that happen after an election, after a presidential year. This was an election that was a backlash against Donald Trump winning the presidential election in 2024. Because if you go back to 2021, Biden had just won the White House, and education was a big issue in Virginia, and Glenn Youngkin used that to ride into the governor's office. And that was a motivator for Republicans to get out and vote, whereas Democrats didn't really have one back in 2021. And now it's the inverse this go-around, where there wasn't a huge motivator driving Republicans to the polls, but Democrats had a motivator named Donald Trump. So I think that's what we saw that played out across the Commonwealth last night.
Yeah, and all the exit polling data in New Jersey, I would say in New Jersey and Virginia, that was the motivating factor. I thought it was interesting where that was not the motivating factor, the top factor in New York City, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But again, I think also you just had some bad candidates, and Winsome Sears had some bad history with President Trump back, years ago. It was just not a good situation for Republicans.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. At the end of the day, the buck stops at the top of the ticket, whether that's in Virginia, New Jersey, or elsewhere. Obviously everybody on the team has a part to play, whether you're running for statewide or you're in a local county election somewhere. But at the end of the day, it's a trickle-down effect from the top of the ticket, and if the top of the ticket is not performing well, it's hard to overcome that down ballot, unfortunately.
Josh, what happened in the House of Delegates? That seemed to be a bit of a surprise, but Republicans got slaughtered.
Yeah, I think, again, going back to that trickle-down effect, the governor's race really played into, I think, the rest of the elections we saw in Virginia, both Lieutenant Governor and Attorney General, but even into the House of Delegates level, where the spending level by Democrats in the governor's race was absolutely just 10 times that of what Republicans were spending with some Sears on advertising across the Commonwealth. I think, a lot of these House of Delegates races also obviously are in those media markets, and that had a trickle-down effect. And to be one, Republicans were also outspent at the House of Delegates level. So it comes back to a numbers game, motivating factors, getting your side out to vote. So it was a rough night for Republicans, but House of Delegates, we'll see where the final numbers land. But yeah, it was not ideal there.
Where do we go from here? Because there are some of the administration saying, look, these were all blue states. We got nothing to worry about. For me, I'm looking at those down ballot races, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's truth. The truth is always somewhere in the middle, because that is a great point. Democrats won in blue states. People shouldn't be surprised by that. You had Virginia, New Jersey, and New York. Excluding a couple other ballot initiatives or special elections going on. That was the main one. And so Democrats, signaling that this is like an absolute blue wave heading back in the direction of, let's say Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I don't think that's necessarily what happened last night. I think you have these blue states. You had Democrat voters who, I'll use a different word, who were very upset about the president and wanted to get out, and this was their way of protesting the president, essentially. But to your point, though, Republicans should take note heading into the midterms next year, because If the American people don't feel like their government's working for them, they're not going to elect that same government. So Republicans need to get their eye on the ball, especially in D.C., and start codifying some of these executive orders and really delivering on President Trump's America First agenda, and stop with all this nonsense of, renaming things for the sake of renaming them. People at the end of the day don't care about that. They care about what affects their pocketbook.
It's interesting. Dinesh D'Souza, he's running, or not Dinesh D'Souza, Vivek Ramaswamy, running for governor in Ohio. And he put out a video last night, and he called out the Republicans who are doing this identity politics and says, we're not going to win elections if we keep driving away minority voters. And I'm wondering, when you look at New York City, were there Jews, were there Indians who said, you know what, we're not going to be voting in this election. We're going to set this one out. Look, at some point, if the woke right, whatever you're going to call them, if they're going to continue this line of attack against Jews, the question is, how much longer are they going to still vote Republican?
Yeah, no, it's an absolute cancer within the Republican Party or on the Republican side of things. It's important to take note of and make sure we push back against that, because at the end of the day, the Republican Party is the big tent party. Contrary to what people say in the media, or obviously what Democrat operatives would say. So Republicans need to take advantage of that, because President Trump back in 2024 did very well with Latinos, very good with young people, young men in particular. So President Trump proved that the Republican Party can be a big tent party. You just have to encourage that.
All right, Josh, we're going to let you get back at it. Thanks again for calling in from Jekyll Island, and we'll let you get back to enjoying your little break there.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right, you too now. All right, let's try to work on a call here. Chris from North Carolina. Hi, Chris. What say you?
Hey, how are you doing? Just a quick comment. You have to be. I'm really disappointed in these Republicans that just don't go out and vote in these down ballot elections, and I just don't understand. I really don't understand it. Trump needs help. He can't get it. It's awesome he's in the White House, but he needs help while he's in the White House. And these races, the governor races, the AG races, things like that, can help him. But when we don't go out and vote and we just sit back, it won't be all right. It's not going to be okay. This is really, really disappointing to me, and it should be disappointing to, if you call yourself a Republican or a conservative, you should be really upset about this, really upset, because Democrats are sitting back and they're chomping at the bit for midterms now. They are chomping at the bit, because what they're going to do is they're going to impeach Trump. Plain and simple. He's going to be impeached.
Well, no doubt.
He's going to be impeached.
Yeah, Chris, no doubt about that. And that's why we've got to take this seriously. Again, we don't have a lot of time, and we've got to make every single second count. We've got to squeeze every bit of life out of every one of those seconds. And I'm just not seeing that sort of ferocity or commitment coming from the Republicans in Congress. And you're right, Trump cannot do it by himself. All right, 901-260-5926, our number. Chris, thanks for that call. 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Stern Show.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm not a young guy, and I'm an ex-athlete. Well, yeah, when I was taking it, I recognized that I was feeling better. You know what I'm saying? And just mentally knowing is important also.
I am a customer of you guys. I love your product. Love it, love it. Nothing but good things to say about your product. I love it. And as long as y'all are going to sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
Whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Hey, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time, and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
All right. You know, one of the interesting things about this, America's mayor is now a Muslim, and on September 11th, 2026, Zohran Mamdani is going to be presiding over the 9/11 memorial service, and I think that's shocking to many, many New Yorkers. I want to go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line to say hello to our good friend, national correspondent Robin Poffman. Robin, I know you're chomping at the bit here. What in the world happened in New York City yesterday?
Well, I'm going to first off by saying to you, Todd, that absolutely none of this surprises me. You have what's known here as taqiya that's in play. And for those who are not familiar with that word, I'm going to sum it up, that this is basically the Muslim practice of basically allowing you to lie to get your agenda passed. And we saw this back in 1993 when the World Trade Center was bombed by radical Islamic terrorism, Muslim Brotherhood members that were here in this country lying. Same, you forward up the clock 8 years, 9/11, you have radical Muslims, the same thing, goal to topple the towers because they couldn't accomplish it 8 years prior. They were lying about going to flight schools. Oh, we only want to learn how to fly the plane, not land it. Ding, ding, ding. So taqiya has been in play in this country for a very long time. I am absolutely sick to my stomach the number of Jewish people, New Yorkers, in Brooklyn, in Staten Island, in Queens, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, that voted for this Muslim. I personally, Todd, call these Jewish people Kristallnacht Jews. Kristallnacht, for those that don't know history, is the night of broken glass in Germany. For weeks and months, Nazis, real Nazis, stealing the goods of the Jewish people, ripping the gold out of their mouth, destroying property. And these Jewish people, for arrogance or for whatever naivete that, quote, this can never happen here, well, it happened there and it's happening here. This group of liberal Jews never wakes up until it is too late. And I'm going to share something personal, Todd, with you today, because I am upset. My great-grandparents on my father's side were living in Russia, 1907, 1911. They saw anti-Semitism way before Nazi Germany. This is all documented in the Holocaust Museum, which I know you've been to in Washington, D.C. And they saw the writing on the wall in Russia, in what was known as Minsk, Belarus nowadays. Anti-Semitism, okay? And they saw what was coming, and they came to this country with the clothes on their back and a few items, and they assimilated. They came, they learned English, and they wanted to be Americans. But the radical Muslims who are coming here or who snuck in the last 4 years under the Biden, Obama, Harris administration, that is not their agenda, Todd. That is not their agenda. They are here to create, they took down the World Trade Center, the number one symbol of American might and glory and capitalism, and they want to institute Sharia law and their thing here. And the agenda of that we are teaching our kids in this country from nursery school, the indoctrination, Todd, the indoctrination from nursery school, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, universities, grad school, all of which I've attended, the liberal indoctrination that I personally had to put up with in New Jersey, in Washington, D.C., in New York City, all of my education. The only person in this country who was combating that with young people was Charlie Kirk, and that's why they murdered him. That is the connection of the dots, Todd, of the entire situation of where we are until today, on this morning, of what happened last night in elections in various states in our country. I am absolutely appalled and disgusted.
There is a brand new survey out saying that more than 25% of New Yorkers would consider fleeing the city if Zoran was elected. And now you do wonder, if people are going to pack up and leave. The reality, though, Robin, is that even the New York City that you know and love is not the same place. I think Bill Hemmer did a great job of laying this out. on Fox last night. Let's play cut number 3.
In on Queens. I think Queens is so interesting, Sean. Hey, look at this, just for our viewers at home. Like, no matter where you're watching in America tonight, just stop and think about this for a moment. This is one of 5 boroughs, okay, in Queens. It's not even the most populated. In this particular borough, maybe you fly in the JFK, maybe you fly in the LaGuardia, population 2.4 million. Foreign born, 48%. Languages spoken, in Queens alone, 160 different languages. When you study New York City, you're studying a country. Sean, you can literally cross the street and you find people with different ethnicity, different religion. They come from different parts of the world, and they certainly vote in very different ways. And you do not have to go far in that neighborhood or on that street to find that.
And Robin, the polling backs that up. According to one of the polls, that a majority of lifelong New Yorkers backed either Cuomo or Sliwa, but non-native voters threw all of their support behind the socialist Muslim. Are you surprised by that?
I'm not. And, Todd, you and I both, worked at Fox News together for so many years, and I'm not surprised by it, but there are issues and there are problems. I mean, do you feel that going to a church or a synagogue, unless you know that there's security outside and inside and people that are armed, do you honestly think that you're safe in that environment? Because personally, I don't. And I will tell you that when I was living in Dallas about 10 to 15 years ago, there was a meeting at somebody's house, a conservative person with a Muslim man who became a Christian, and he was, talking to conservatives in Texas. I don't want to say his name, but he, told us about this takia and how the agenda is always in play. And they showed the movie by Curtis Bowers, who was an Idaho legislator who made this movie called, in fact, Agenda. And it was put out in 2010, and I encourage everyone in your audience to watch this because it talks about the whole George Soros agenda and how they got, the Common Core agenda in schools and how 9/11 is not taught in our high school history books. And so, they want to erase history and take down statues. And the agenda is Sharia law. And we see that now in Dearborn, Michigan. Look at the terrorist attack that was broken up by the FBI just the other day, where on Halloween there were 6 radical Muslims, including a 16-year-old, and they took their phones and computers, and the FBI in the affidavit said that they were looking to shoot up gay people in gay bars in the Detroit area. So one minute you're being friendly to gay Americans, and then the next minute you're killing them like we saw in Orlando, Florida. So again, this all goes back to the word takia and the ability to kind of hide your agenda, all in the name of radical Islam. We need to be extremely careful. Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor, who led us out of 9/11. You were there. I was there. Okay. And when he said New York will be here tomorrow, he has posted online today on all of his social media accounts, we have forgotten, and we have. And the thought of Mamdani presiding over a 9/11
right.
ceremony?
Exactly.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that's going to happen?
Robin, I want to play this real quick. This is from Van Jones at CNN. And it was really, you couldn't help but laugh. It was maybe gallows humor here. They were all concerned about how Mr. Smiley, giggly, huggy Muslim guy turns into this angry Muslim guy. Cut number 6.
That speech appealed to some, but I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not?
No, I think we saw the real Mamdani last night, and it's going to be ugly in New York City, and maybe that needs to happen. Maybe we need to see New York City completely come undone so that people can understand, at least this new young generation can understand that socialism does not work.
Todd, I will tell you this. There's two fronts. I know we have to wrap it up here, but there's the economic piece of this where people want free stuff. My rent is too high and I want it, be in rent control, and I want to get on a free bus, and I want a, free cupcake at the supermarket and all of that, and a free donut. But then there's also the ideological part of it that's behind the economic part, and we have to be very careful. And there are people, young people, especially young women, 20s and 30s, who have been indoctrinated in this.
Yeah.
They want the free stuff. They can't get ahead economically, especially if they're not married or have a partner. And the ideological part of it is huge. I will lastly end on this, that if I were the white female Jewish police commissioner in the city of New York, I would be looking for another job, because I'm going to be very surprised if she stays in that position with him at the helm. That is an appointed position. You serve at the, at the wishes of the mayor. And it's going to be very interesting. To me, that's the first litmus test. Does she stay or does she go?
The story of the night, when you mentioned young women, 81% went for Mamdani, 80% went for Cheryl in New Jersey, 78% Spanberger in Virginia. That's according to NBC's exit polls. By the way, what happened? I know New Jersey, you're a Jersey girl. What the heck happened there? Everybody thought that was going to be an upset win for the Republicans.
You know what the problem is? And I could probably name you about 50 people I know personally. All the conservatives and center-right people that I know have moved out, and they're all living in either the Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee, or Florida, or some have gone over to Texas or Mississippi. And it's truly interesting, Todd, that if you look at the numbers, even in the last, what has it been since Trump has been in office, people have moved out of New Jersey. They've lost easily about 200,000 to 300,000 people who have left. And so those numbers are really, really off. People are sick of the taxes, sick of the tolls, sick of the weather, and sick of the ideology, and sick of sanctuary cities, because crime is up in all the counties where there are sanctuary cities in New Jersey. It's a mess, and about to get a lot worse.
All right. Robin, we're going to leave it there. Great analysis, and we will see how it all plays out. I know we'll have you back on very soon. Thanks a lot now.
All right. Love you.
All right. Love you too. Great lady right there. I'm her favorite Gentile. Let's go to, real quick, Michael in Denver, Colorado. Hi, Michael. What's on your mind?
Hey, Todd. Thank you for taking my call again. I'm a second-time caller. I'm actually 29 years old. I called you about 4 months ago. It's really good to speak with you again. Yeah. So real quick on Mamdani, Wall Street Journal editorial page today came out with an interesting article. In part, it said if Democrats can convince voters they're a better bet for getting ahead economically, the GOP is in trouble for 2026. President Trump's tariffs aren't helping matters either. Neither is inflation going away. And the interesting part of this, the potential silver lining for the country in Tuesday's election results, is that Democrats can see a model of electoral success that isn't rooted in radicalism. The challenge for Republicans is that Democrats outside New York may be learning from their 2024 defeat. So I think that in a lot of ways, the Democrats have shifted away from, running off the kind of the radical ideas, the identity politics in a way, and they are making strides. Really quick, following up on your NBC News exit poll information, some interesting statistics. Those voters under 30 years old, 78% voted for Mamdani, college graduates, 57%, and renters, 59% of renters voted for Mamdani. And I think the reason that that is so important is because, Cuomo wasn't really able to counter Mamdani's strategy when it came to, affordable housing and laying out practical plans to make housing affordable for young people, for renters, for college graduates. And New York, which is a city that is almost unaffordable, nearly impossible to live in for those demographics. And, I was going to ask, why do you think Cuomo had such a hard time countering Mamdani's ideas on that kind of front?
Honestly, Michael, first, he's loaded. He's got a lot of money, and he actually spent way too much time in the Hamptons, which is where all the rich and famous live. instead of being boots on the ground in working class sections of New York City. I just don't think Cuomo had it in him. I think he got so dejected after losing the Democrat primary. People convinced him to step in thinking that Sliwa was going to back out. And even then, I mean, it would have been a close race, but look, Mamdani got more than 50% of the vote. So it doesn't matter if every single Republican in New York City had voted for Cuomo, it still would not have been enough to overcome the immigrant vote. So it's a mess. Hey, Michael, I've got to run. Thank you for calling in. It's always great to hear from you, and thanks for the great analysis out in Denver. We've got to take a quick break here. You know who we haven't heard from in a long time is our good buddy Connor up in Boston. I hope the libs at Harvard haven't got him. 901-260-5926, our number. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
Can't hear the whole show? Don't worry. Get the Toddcast and listen on your own time at ToddStarnes.com.
From director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story.
They said you had no chance, but here you are.
Starring Joel Courtney, John Corbett, Stephanie Shostak, Macy McLean, with Devon Franklin and William H. Macy.
If you focus exactly on loving the life that you're living right now, and not the life that you think you could have had or should have had, that's the whole deal right there.
Soul on Fire, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing. For tickets, go to soulonfiremovie.com.
Soul on Fire.
From fruits and veggies to fiber and spice, Balance of Nature supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a natural bodybuilder, so I know when something works and when something doesn't. I've tried so many different products. When I got your product, and like I said, I'm a natural bodybuilder, as soon as I got it, did them for a week, and I told my brother, I said, Rick, you need to try these. You know I won't give you nothing if it don't. He tried them, bam, the first day. He said, this is a good product. And I got my mom on them, and I just keep pushing your product. It's a great product. You're a great company, and everybody there I've talked to has been so kind. Great product. It does what it says it does.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Everyone's goals for advancing their education look different. At Liberty University, we've helped thousands of students like you earn their dream degree. So no matter what your goal is, we can help you get there. With over 450 degrees from the associate to the doctoral level to choose from, most of which are 100% online, you'll find what you need to succeed. To discover which degree might be the best fit for you, text degree to 49595. That's degree to 49595.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling, boss, work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right. Hey, we're excited to launch our annual Christmas fund. We have so much fun with this. It's the Affordable Christmas, and we partner with a wonderful church in South Haven, Mississippi, and it's the name of the program is Affordable Christmas. And here's how it works. We ask you to donate money, and then the church takes that money and they purchase brand new Christmas toys, and they create an authentic Christmas store. And so the parents the parents who don't have a lot of money and can't afford Christmas, they're selected, and they get to go in and they can purchase these brand new toys at a fraction of the cost, just a couple of dollars. And it allows them to maintain the dignity of being able to go in and the joy of being able to go in and afford to purchase their child a Christmas present. And we love doing this. Last year, we raised something like $20,000 for the ministry. And I want you to head over to reachdesotoms.org. That's reachdesotoms.org. And when you call up the website, you'll find the Affordable Christmas. Click on that, and you'll be able to make a donation. Landers Nissan in South Haven, they're going to match every gift up to $7,500. That's pretty awesome. So head over there right now, reachdesotoms.org, and help us out raise some money for these great, precious children. We'll be right back, everybody. Hang tight if you're on the phones.
In a world where our values are under fire, it's time to stand strong. That's why you should know about Old Glory Bank. Old Glory Bank is a bank that stands for faith, family, and freedom. A bank that won't cave to cancel culture. Your money, your values. So if you're tired of banks that won't stand up for your values, it's time to switch to Old Glory Bank. Head on over to oldglorybank.com/starns and make the change today.
For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Patriot Mobile's all-U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT, code Todd. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. You know, Mike has a passion to help everybody get the best sleep of their life, and he didn't stop by creating the best pillow. He also created the best bed sheets ever. Mike is offering the best deal on his Percale bed sheets. You can get a set for as low as $24.98. The MyPillow Percale bed sheets are breathable and have a cool, crisp feel. They have deep pockets to fit over any mattress. They look great, they feel great, and that means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Also, for a limited time, when you order over $100 worth of merch, you're going to get $100 in free digital gifts. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code STARNS to receive the MyPillow Percale sheets for as low as $24.98. Order now or call 800-839-8506 and use promo code STARNS. That's 800-839-8506. Use promo code STARNS. Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Starnes. Stand by for news and commentary next.
From Affirm Films and director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story. When John O'Leary suffers burns over 100% of his body, it's a battle for survival. But through the care and support of community heroes, John's resilience leads him to discover what it means to truly live.
The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire.
Soul on Fire. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing. More information is available at soulonfiremovie.com.
Soul on Fire. America's mayor is a Muslim. Zohran Mamdani elected in a landslide thanks to a coalition of immigrants and women with assorted piercings and magenta hair. Mamdani promised to dismantle the police department, abolish prisons, legalize prostitution. Now, his plan provides free public transportation, child care, health care, and gender reassignment surgeries, and he also wants to go into the grocery store business. His plan to pay for all of this by taxing the rich and white people. Mamdani quoted from two notorious socialists during his victory speech, his campaign smile replaced with an angry snarl. Not a single mention of George Washington or Thomas Jefferson or God. New York City is about to become a third world country, and I hate it for all the good folks living there, but elections have consequences. And for all of you northern refugees heading due south, just be aware that Tennessee is already full. You might try Nebraska. I'm Todd Starnes.
The Todd Starnes Show begins in 4 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's Common Sense Conservative Commentary from Todd Starnes.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
You know, I got a question here about this Zohran Mamdani and his election to New York City. We've had several of our great listeners sending in questions, and these are valid questions. I do not know the answers, but maybe you do. We had one listener didn't want to give their name, but they were wondering if Rosie O'Donnell would have to wear a burqa. So that's we don't know. We don't know the answer to that. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, aesthetically speaking, of course. But we will check and see if the women of New York City will need to be wearing burqas in the coming days. Also, someone asked, because Zohran Mamdani, he likes to eat the hummus or whatever he was eating with his fingers. Did you see that, Dylan? It was a little disgusting.
Yeah, a little unsanitary.
Well, what was unsanitary? He was eating a meal on the subway. Who does that?
Wow.
Oh, those subways are disgusting. You don't even want to sit on the seats.
Yeah, no, I had one experience.
And there he is putting a street meat right there on. That's what we used to call it, by the way, street meat. Yeah. Oh, so nasty.
We're doing away with silverware. Is this what's going to happen?
Apparently so. So, guess Gracie Mansion. They're going to be serving a lot of finger foods. I guess I don't know, but I'm sure a lot of people have questions, and maybe Zohran will be able to help us out here. We'll let you know. By the way, it's interesting because he thanked a lot of people for his election yesterday. Zohramadan, that's what we're going to try to start calling the guy, Zohramadan. He thanked a lot of people yesterday. Take a listen.
Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties. To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point.
Oh, boy. It may have just been an oversight. Dylan, did you hear him say anything about the Irish firefighters or the Italian cops?
Wow. They forgot. He forgot.
I think they forgot. The German Jägermeisters, I don't think they got mentioned.
Maybe he was just hungry.
They didn't get a shout out either. I think all of Western Europe was not included in the thank you list. It's shocking. I'm still stunned by this number out of Queens, New York. 2.4 million people, 48% are foreign born. Over 160 languages are spoken. That's just insane. Just insane. Let's go to the phone lines here. We've had a lot of folks holding on over the break, and we certainly appreciate that. By the way, welcome to Hour 2 of the Todd Starnes radio program. What an honor that you have chosen to hang out with us today. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. Let's go to Jerry in Jackson, Tennessee. Hi, Jerry. What's on your mind today?
Well, hi there, Todd. Thank you for taking my call.
Glad to do it, Jerry.
Okay. I got a couple of radical things, I think, because the Mamdani taking over New York is not just a small thing. It's huge as far as freedom and what's going to happen to the United States. We're already being invaded by Muslims, and this is just going to start a even bigger wave of Muslims coming into the United States. And we can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, letting this kind of stuff happen. And I have several ideas, but just two real radical ones that need to sort of start right now. And if I were President Trump, I would take the military, all the military that's in New York, and sort of set them up around the harbors and airports and stuff like that, because there's going to be an influx of Muslims and possibly weapons coming in all these boxes and stuff coming across from the other countries. And the second thing is Democrats get a all the ability to communicate between themselves and set up, their demonstrations and their radical agendas and things like that. And if we don't do something along the line of arming, or not arming ourselves, but taking the 40 million people that are already armed in the United States and sort of organize them and give them a way to communicate with each other and set up sort of a Minuteman concept and get ready to protect ourselves, because I really think from what happened in Germany, we're definitely headed that way. And I thank you for listening to me, and I'd like to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jerry, and I wanted you to be able to complete your thought there, and that's why I didn't interrupt. Look, I think that it is incumbent, and I know this is going to sound weird to a lot of our evangelical friends, but I think it's important for the Christians and the Jews and the gays and the lesbians. Everybody needs to pay very close attention to what's happening in this country, because if the Islamists eventually gain enough control in the right areas, and let me tell you something, Jerry, that is the most disturbing part of the election in New York City, is the power that Mamdani is going to wield. They're coming after the Jews and the Christians and the gays and the lesbians. It's honestly, I'm not sure who they hate the most, but they're coming after all of us. And so everybody needs to step back here and realize what's coming down the pike, because divided, we will lose that fight. And this is going to be something that will really test the very foundations of the nation. And I say that because the Islamic faith is completely incompatible with Western civilization. It's not going to work. So our Constitution, our way of life, is based on Judeo-Christian teachings. And if you take that out, then you've got big problems in this country. So I do think that we need to be prepared. I don't think we need to be freaking out about it, but we just need to be prepared, Jerry.
I agree. I think it's one of those things where, we got to start thinking this way. We've got to start thinking that it's not going to be like it was even 5 years ago.
Well, let me ask you a question. Jerry, let me ask you a question here. All right, what do you think would happen in this country? And because this is happening on a very regular basis across to Christians in the Middle East and in other areas of the world, where the Muslims are coming in, the Islamists, and they're blowing up these churches. They're opening fire. They're slaughtering Christians in their churches. How long before you think that's going to start happening here in this country?
Oh, I think it's just around the corner. I think as soon as New York is taken over, it'll start spreading. And already we're hearing from Democrats that violence is okay with them. So that's sort of a precursor saying, hey, we're going to start doing whatever it takes to take over.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry, good thoughts, and I appreciate you listening to us. Thank you for calling in today. Let's go to New Orleans. Miss Janice, I was just thinking about you the other day. Hope you're doing well, Miss Janice.
Yeah, I'm hanging in, Todd. I check you out lots of times on your podcast and everything.
Well, I like being checked out on my podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad you have it. It's really, really good.
Well, thank you very much. Miss Janice, what do you make about what happened yesterday?
I don't like it. I had read, now I don't know how true this is or not, but I had read the other night that a lot of people are going to be starting to leave New York.
About 1 million is what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what I had seen in an article I read last night. Yeah, I have an app on my phone, and I recommend this app to everyone in the whole world. It's great. They have all kinds of news stuff, political stuff, all kinds of stuff on it. You can get local news.
Oh, what's it called?
It's called News Break.
Oh, yes.
NEWSBREAK, News Break.
It's a fine app.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's got all kinds of stuff. You can choose, anything you want to read and set it up, and it's just a whole bunch of wonderful stuff on there, and I love it. And I really, I like you too, Todd. And listen, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you. And no, I'm up a little earlier today than usual. what it is that some days it's just hard for me to get up.
Well, I understand. Yeah, some days it's hard for me to get
like
up.
I do, you know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Well, look, it's always fun when you call, and we always enjoy hearing your voice. I know so many of our listeners around the nation love hearing when you call the show.
That's so nice. But I just don't know what's going to happen with this Mamdani guy. I don't know what he's got in mind exactly. I don't know what his real plans are. It just doesn't sound all that good to me at all. Really doesn't.
Isn't it strange? You have a guy, he's barely been in the country for any amount of time. He's never held a job. He's just really come out of nowhere, like Barack Obama. And now Obama is reportedly giving him guidance and advice. I have a bad feeling about all of this, and I think there's more to this Mamdani story than we know right now, and especially with the photos surfacing of George Soros's son. They seem to be palling around together, and wherever the Soroses are, normally bad things happen.
Yeah, well, it's really terrible. All we can do, we need to pray.
Yes, I completely agree, Miss Janice. I completely agree. Now, tell me, are you getting ready for the holidays there in the Big Easy in New Orleans?
Well, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't really. I mean, I fix my dinner. You know, I'm going to have. You know what I get that I like? I don't cook big turkey and stuff. I get the Hormel Complete. It's Hormel Complete's turkey and dressing, and then I make my own dressing on the side, stovetop, and I have that because I want some extra dressing, and then I open my my carrots, can of carrots, and my sweet potatoes, and it works out. It works out really well though for me. That's what I always did with my husband. It was just a good way to do it. Just pop it in the heat stuff in the microwave, and it was just an easy way to do it. But it was nice.
Well, nothing wrong with easy. Miss Janice, always good hearing from you. You take care of yourself.
I'm in the Big Easy.
You are. You're in the Big Easy, so it's got to be easy.
I got to take it easy in the Big Easy, yeah. Okay.
We need a T-shirt, a bumper sticker. All right, take care, Miss Janice.
You too.
All right, great lady right there. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. You know, Dylan, I feel really bad. I finally got around to unloading the back of the Cadillac after that trip to College of the Ozarks.
Yes.
You know, that's Hard Work University. Mm-hmm. And the kids, they make all these foods like preserves, like peanut butter, and they got the jams.
You were unloading groceries.
Yes. And I forgot that I had purchased all of this. They have a grist mill, so you can go and watch the grits, the corn being ground.
Wow.
And the flour, the whole 9 yards. And so I'm like, give me a couple of sacks of that. I must have like 10 pounds of flour and cornmeal in the Cadillac.
So you're cooking for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm going to be making some cornbread dressing.
Let's do it.
Hey, now.
Sounds great.
I make some pretty good dressing.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break here, everybody. 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. We'll be right back.
You're with Todd Starnes.
Hey, Patriots, Todd Starnes here with big news. Trump's fighting for our country to get it back on the right track, battling China, who's likely dumping treasuries to sink the dollar, and facing tariffs that are having a sharp bite on the stock market. Now, Trump is playing the long game for America, putting Americans first. But like hard work, there's always going to be some pain. So you've got to play smart, too. Secure your hard-earned savings and retirement with Vault U.S. Gold. Their IRS-approved gold IRAs let you roll over your IRA or 401k with a no-commission pros. Safe, simple, tax-smart, protecting your future. Want it in hand? Well, their direct delivery program ships insured gold and silver to your door, offering privacy, yours to store securely. Real assets that you can hold and touch for tough times. Call 833-511-GOLD. That's 833-511-4653 or visit vaultusgold.com/Todd Starnes for your free investor kit. And tell them Todd sent you, and don't go unprotected. Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and there's no better time to get in shape than right now. That's why I'm really really excited that Calitrin is part of my weight loss campaign. Here's my friend Elizabeth from Calitrin.
Yes, y'all, this is the season of eating, and food is everywhere, but you don't have to gain weight if you are taking Calitrin. Calitrin is going to help you lose the inches and the pounds even during the eating season. And it does it without drugs and stimulants, so it's safe with all your medications, even your heart patients, your diabetics. This product is really good for you. Proven for almost 30 years, drug-free, stimulant-free, and right now, y'all, Calitrin is on sale. If you go to the website toploss.com, you're going to see that not only is it $10 off every single month, but there's also an unlimited buy three, get three free. That's at toploss.com or call 833-TOP-LOSS.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and be sure to use that promo code TODD.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/TODD or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. All right, just a reminder, we are launching today our Affordable Christmas campaign, and this is a really special time for all of us. We had such a great time raising money for these wonderful, wonderful families and last year, and we're doing it again this year, hoping to raise, $20,000. That's sort of our goal, $20,000. And here's the deal. Affordable Christmas, it's more than just a toy drive. This is an opportunity to restore dignity and hope to families in need. And so what we do is we invite low-income parents to come and shop for brand new, deeply discounted Christmas gifts for their kids. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. So all we're asking of you is to make a donation. And today, I believe all this week, $7,500, our friends at Landers Nissan in South Haven, Mississippi, Landers Nissan, they're going to match every gift up to $7,500. So we'd love for you to go to the website, KWAM Radio, KWAMradio.com. That's KWAMradio.com, and you'll see the link there. You can give online, or if you are listening to us in the North Mississippi area, you can drive by Landers Nissan today, and there's a chance for you to win a $250 gift card to the Mesquite Jump House, which is a pretty great restaurant. I love that place, owned by our great friend Jim Lasampio, one of the best restaurateurs in America. So again, KWAMradio.com if you would like to make a donation, and you can do that online. All right, let's go to Memphis, Tennessee. Marlon is listening to us on KWAM. Hi, Marlon. What's on your mind today?
Hey, I say let's give them a chance and stop the fear-mongering. Our churches have been attacked ever since this country has been started. Christianity has been under attack.
But what's the fear-mongering, Marlon?
Talking about the bombings of churches and things like that, they're monsters. But when the bombings of churches happened all throughout our history in Alabama, which were Christians, there were sick people. But no, it's fear-mongering. It's nothing but fear-mongering.
Well, let me ask you, Marlon. Is something beeping there in your car?
I apologize. I went to bag up, and that's a warning, man. Hey, don't bag up.
No. Look, I've got this. Mine doesn't do that. It just starts to shake violently, and it scares the living daylights out of me every time it happens. So I get it. I think a lot of people, and a lot of Jewish people especially, are unnerved because of the associations this guy has with known co-conspirators, unindicted conspirators to terrorism. And I think if you're in New York City, that is an especially hot-button issue with what happened on 9/11.
I understand that, but a lot of Jewish folks voted for him.
Yeah, they did. I don't get that one. But, yeah, you're right about that. They certainly did. Look, here's the deal. We've seen this work. We've seen this play before. Socialism doesn't work. And honestly, Zohran Mamdani's election is going to be a gift to Republicans because that city's going to implode. And the reason why, Marlon, he wants to raise taxes to accomplish all of this, but he has to get permission from the governor, and the governor's not going to do that. So I don't know how he's going to fund all of this free stuff.
Exactly. That's why I say just let's see what his real plans are, because everyone runs off one thing and does another. And I believe in it. Like I told your screener, if everyone who's threatening to move from New York move, prices will go down.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. My concern is they bring their politics down to Tennessee. You're more than welcome to come here, but you got to leave your politics behind. Marlon, I am late for a break, my friend, but thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening to KWAM. Our telephone number, 901-260-5926. By the way, not looking good for Republican lawmakers in California. We'll tell you all about that. And we'll also take a look at these propositions, these props that Texas voted on yesterday. All right, we'll be right back, everybody. We are living in dangerous and unstable times. Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Stearns. Pandemics, international insecurity, shortages, supply chain disruptions, and an economy on the brink. We know we can't simply trust the government to protect us. Now more than ever, everyone needs to be prepared. And being prepared is more than just stockpiling ammo, food, and supplies. Being prepared should also include stockpiling critical prescription medications. And that's where my friends at the Wellness Company come in. Their medical emergency kit contains the prescriptions, antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics that you need to keep you and your family safe, from anthrax to tick bites to COVID, and even to a bioweapon like the plague. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand to be prepared. Go to twc.health/Starnes today and order. That's twc.health/Starnes. Use the promo code STARNES, and you're going to save an extra 10%.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important.
And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, this story from the world of Twitch. I never have really gotten into Twitch. Is that sort of like Twitter?
It's like streaming.
Okay.
Mostly on games.
There's a gentleman on Twitch who goes by the name Fatty McFatfa. Are you familiar with this guy, Dylan?
I don't know his game.
Well, he's a big fella, and he was taking an Uber. You know, I'll be doing the Uber. I've got to be out the rest of the week. I'm actually the master of ceremonies at the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. So heading to Florida for that. So I'll be taking the Uber. It's a lot easier. You know, I do like to drive, but when I'm in another city, and especially Florida, every other street you got to pay some sort of a toll fee. I don't get that. The toll roads, they kill you over there. Anyway, I'm digressing. So this guy named Fatty McFatfa, and I guess we're just going to call him Fatty McFat. How about that? So Fatty McFat took an Uber, was getting into an Uber, and the Uber driver said, "I'm sorry, but you're too fat for my vehicle." And the guy took great offense at this. He's one of these streamers on Twitch, and he actually took out his phone and started filming the female driver. And he said, "I'm going to record you. You just said I'm too large for your car." And she said, "This is a matter of logic and rationale, and I have a right to say that." She doubled down and said it's her car, and she gets to decide. You know, that is tough. I mean, if you've got like who was it?
It was Dank DeMoss.
Yeah, was that the one?
Dank DeMoss. Yeah, I was going to say we've heard this story before. This has happened.
She's a big gal.
Yeah. I wonder the comparisons. Is it the same situation?
No, he's not as large as she is.
Okay. What's the car? Is it a sedan? Probably.
It looks like a smaller vehicle, so I could understand why he could not fit in there.
Right.
And anyway, it got so bad. So finally, the driver said, "Okay, you want me to pull my gun on you?"
Wow.
Typically, if you're going to do that, you don't announce it ahead of time. Because if you're asking me that question, I would be like, "No, not really. I thank you for asking, but I'd rather you not pull your weapon out." So then the guy got out of the car and he shut the door. Well, it turns out, he's got. Call of Duty is the game that he plays.
Yeah.
And I would say it's really funny. He's got a big body, but his legs are like peg legs, like pirate peg legs. And he wears the cargo shorts. Not a good look, but whatever,
Should have just ordered an Uber XL. That would fix all your problems.
There you go. Well, Uber said that the driver was in the wrong, and they have removed her access to their platform. They said everybody deserves to feel welcome, safe, and respected when using the Uber app. And their community guidelines strictly prohibit discriminatory behavior. I guess that's because of Dank, right? So here you go. According to the policy, I'm reading this here. It says nothing about girth. I mean, you can't prohibit somebody from coming in because of gender identity, marital status, national origin, religion, geographical location, or any other characteristic protected under relevant law. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Michael's plight elicited vitriol from commentators. One troll writing, this is your sign to lose weight. Another said, just get McDonald's delivered instead of Ubering there. It's much easier. That does sort of defeat the purpose, does it not?
I mean, it's Uber either way.
It's true.
Maybe, he can't lose weight because he would have to change his name. He can't be Fatty Fatso or anymore or whatever.
Oh, there we go. It's, DeMoss, 500-pound rapper. Woo!
Yeah.
And it was, so she sued, it was Lyft. She was
kind of the same, yeah.
I wrote a column about that called Unliftable, and it got me in a little trouble.
It's good trouble.
So the driver of the Lyft car said, "Hey, look, this is in all seriousness. This gal is so big that it was going to hurt. It was going to literally hurt his vehicle." And he told the rapper that his tires could not support her weight. And he urged her to order a Lyft XL. And he wasn't being mean about it either. He was being very polite. And he was like, "Ma'am, I don't want you to blow out my tires."
These people's cars are like their job. So, I mean, you have to take care of your car. If someone's like destroying, you get fined or you get a bad review if you like destroy the car messy wise. So this should apply to that.
You know what's worst is when they're eating the flaming hot Cheetos or something in the back and they get the dust. Man, you can't get that out of your vehicle.
The dust stays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow. Interesting. All right. So all that to say, if you're of a certain girth and you're taking an Uber, get yourself a big old jar of Crisco, and if you get stuck in the back seat, you can always just, smear some on the love handles, and you'll ploop right out of there. This story from Tennessee, Shelbyville, Tennessee. A student disciplined after allegedly dressing up as a KKK member on Halloween. I shouldn't laugh, but it's sort of funny. So anyway, the kid dressed up as a Klans member. This was in Bedford County Schools. The student was partially dressed as a member of the Klan and told the teacher they were actually dressed as a priest. Really? Do priests wear the white? Do they? But they don't wear the pointy hats. Anyway, the student was sent home after a parent was contacted, and this was not good. They're like punishing the kid, and they're saying that his costume was unacceptable, and the administration is handling this with great seriousness. Is it that bad of a deal? I mean, seriously. I mean, they're treating this kid as if he's committed a hate crime. The district releasing a statement, Bedford County Schools rejects racism and hate in all forms. What if, and I'm just throwing this out there, what if he was the Pope? Because the Pope does wear the white, and the Pope, does have like a pointy sort of hat, right?
These are some accusations.
I mean, I'm Baptist. That's, so what do I know?
Right.
I'm a Protestant.
So he was just missing the headwear.
Maybe he should have had a cross around him or something.
Well, I don't know.
Was he burning the cross?
Right.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bedford County Schools says they reject racism and hate in all forms. We're proud to serve a diverse student population representing many cultures, all of which we honor and respect. Our commitment is to foster an inclusive and respectful environment, and this is the standard we expect from both our students and staff. What if he was Casper the Friendly Ghost? Oh, my gosh. They're really serious about this, the school, so I don't know if the poor kid's going to be charged or not. But, it's interesting because there was a group of teachers out in, I believe, Colorado, Arizona. I believe it was Arizona. And they were all there. There were these math teachers, and they took a big Halloween picture together, and all of them were wearing these T-shirts that said "Problem Solved," and the right side of their T-shirts were covered in blood. And a lot of people were like, wait a second, you guys are mocking Charlie Kirk. And they got all sorts of death threats. Well, this is in Tucson. I mean, people, they went viral. They outed all the teachers, the entire math department. So these are a lot of like math nerds. And they were accused of mocking Charlie because Charlie was shot on that side and, of course, the blood on the T-shirt. Well, it turns out, this is terrible. Dylan, these people are facing, they want them fired. TPUSA attacked them and said this is unacceptable. As a matter of fact, Andrew Colvett from TPUSA said, concerned parents sent us this image of what's believed to be teachers in Vail schools in Tucson mocking Charlie's murder with costumes that read "Problem Solved" and blood down the left side of their shirts. They deserve to be famous and fired. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But it turns out that it wasn't true. It turns out that the T-shirts were worn by the teachers in 2024. So it had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. And the school having to send an email, but nobody's buying it. And now they're saying that the photographs from 2024 are actually AI generated. You can't go back and you can't. This is too much for me.
What is the world we live in? The internet, man.
Yes, Superman stopped the axis, the rotation of the Earth, and went back in time.
That's what happened. Don't know what to tell you.
They've had to increase police presence at the school.
Oh, my God.
It's not good. They got thousands of threats. It's just unbelievable. And I feel bad for them. And look, if I'm the teachers, I'm suing somebody. But this had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. And this is insane. But this is where we are right now, and you got to be very careful, folks, when you're sharing stuff on social media. You just don't know, what the context of it all is. The school says the shirts were never intended to target any person, event, or a political issue. And again, the Halloween costumes were meant to represent solving tough math problems. I still don't understand the blood part of it, but okay. Again, they have photos showing them all wearing the same shirts last year, so clearly it had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. For that matter, this is sort of funny. So Clay Travis and his wife, they were posting a photo together outside their beautiful mansion in Nashville, and his wife was wearing a shirt, Dylan, wearing a shirt that was covered in blood on the right side, and people were weighing in saying, what sort of message are you trying to send?
Only on the left side from now on, folks.
Yeah.
Gonna get accusations.
Wow. All right, we got to take a break. 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. Don't forget, tonight, 5 o'clock Eastern, the Todd Starnes Show on Newsmax, and millions are now watching Newsmax on cable, our streaming channel, Newsmax 2, and they're downloading our free Newsmax app on smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're one of the top news brands in the nation now, and we have great shows every night. Rob Schmidt, Rob Finnerty, Carl Higbee, and yours truly. So find out why Newsmax is the fastest-growing news channel in America. Find out why President Trump loves Newsmax, and you can join our news revolution. Go to, again, Newsmax on cable streaming, or you can download the free Newsmax app today.
Triggering microaggressions from coast to coast. You're listening to Todd Starnes.
From director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story.
They said you had no chance, but here you are.
Starring Joel Courtney, John Corbett, Stephanie Shostak, Macy McLean, with Devon Franklin and William H. Macy.
If you focus exactly on loving the life that you're living right now, and not the life that you think you could have had or should have had, that's the whole deal right there.
Soul on Fire, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing. For tickets, go to soulonfiremovie.com.
Soul on Fire. Grandma's Kitchen, where laughter and warm meals mingle. Each bite is a journey through generations. As you gather around the table, complement the meal with Balance of Nature fruits and veggies supplements. Our veggies supplement, made from 15 ingredients like garlic, onion, and cayenne pepper, can easily be opened and added to your favorite dishes, like homemade soups or dips. Not to mention our fruit supplement, which is made from 16 ingredients like banana, strawberries, and mango, making it a great addition to your homemade smoothies. So the next time you gather with family, enjoy Balance of Nature supplements as an addition to your favorite dishes. Start your journey with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your preferred set as a new preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Friends, here's a reality check. Your biggest retirement expense likely isn't groceries or healthcare. It's taxes. Add inflation eating away at your dollar, and it's easy to see why so many run out of money. Lassiter Capital helps solve that problem by giving you access to real estate investments designed to generate income, protect against inflation, and provide huge tax advantages. Founder Ty Lassiter calls it the 4 keys to investment success. Visit LassiterCapital.com/Starnes or call 817-912-1569 to schedule your free consultation.
It'd be great if life came with a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. But prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control.
Yikes!
So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's say hello to Carrie in Memphis, Tennessee, listening to us on KWAM. Hi, Carrie. What's on your mind?
Oh, well, I got a comment about the elections last night, and that is that, whether it changes the outcome of the election or not, I want an audit. I want to see how many illegal immigrants cast one or more votes.
Well, it would have to, it would be a lot. It would have to take a lot to be able to change the outcome. I mean, the margin of victory was so great, Carrie. I mean, I don't think anybody even on the Republican side is saying that the election was stolen.
Yeah. Well, even if it don't change the outcome, I would still like to know how many.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a good many. There were, I don't believe that in some instances, you did not have to show an ID to vote in New York City. So it's possible you had some folks, but I'm not sure they were voting at the numbers that would have, resulted in, the election being thrown out.
And my other comment is on the Uber driver, the lady.
Yeah.
I suspect that what actually got her thrown off the platform was she mentioned the gun.
Oh.
Uber and Lyft are both known to be very anti-gun.
Well, that could be. I will say in Memphis, there's no way any Uber driver in Memphis is driving without packing. Gary, thank you for the call. That's a good thought. Let's go to Kentucky. Pastor John. Hey, Pastor, what's on your mind today?
Hey, Todd. That one caller a couple calls back talked about fear-mongering. Obviously, I'm saying this respectfully, he didn't go back and hear what Mamdani said prior to him becoming the mayor of New York. And that's not fear-mongering. What you're dealing is with the facts, and the parents that raised him are basically just the same as far as anti-Semitic goes, as far as talking about a worldwide intifada. And also, here's another fact, Todd. I looked it up, and I'm sure you can verify. The commissioner of the fire, FDNY, has resigned because he's Jewish. Also, I believe I got it from the Daily Wire that right now the police union down in Texas is recruiting because I know that these police officers are going to be very frustrated. And the idea, and then also I was informed, you can look it up again, that the New York Stock Exchange has set up satellite offices down in Texas and the NASDAQ as well. So here's the fact that if people listen and study the facts, Mamdani is not a good person. He doesn't like the American people. And my concern is, what's he going to do with the 9/11 memorial? So, Todd, that's all I wanted to point out, the facts about it's not fear-mongering, it's truth. And if people can't see the truth, you get what you vote for. Now hang up and listen for your commentary, Todd. Love you, brother.
All right.
God
Well,
bless.
thank you, Pastor. And yeah, this is accurate. The FDNY commissioner, that would be Robert Tucker, about 14 minutes ago, announced that he is resigning. He is the fire commissioner, and he's also Jewish. And he was appointed a commissioner back in 2024. But again, based on what's happening there in New York City, the Jewish fire commissioner thought it best to maybe call it a day. And look, I would not be surprised if you see lots of businesses packing up and heading out of New York City. And hear me on this. Most of them are probably, maybe they're going to go across the river to New Jersey, but I don't think so. That may have been the case if Jack Ciattarelli would have won in New Jersey. But I think you're going to see these businesses moving to places like Charlotte, moving to places like Dallas or Houston, somewhere in Texas, where they're going to be able to get a fresh start, and they're going to be able to get relief from these taxes, which are going to be insane. And again, I mentioned this with our caller. So Mamdani is on the record as saying, look, all of this is going to be paid for by raising taxes on the 1%. But he doesn't have the power to do that. That has to be done through the governor and the assembly there in New York State, in Albany. So, and the governor is not inclined to go after and tax the wealthy because it's not going to stop there. That's still not going to be enough money to fund all the free stuff that he wants to give all these New Yorkers and all these immigrants. So when that happens, it'll be fascinating to see how quickly these people turn on this guy. And again, he's not a happy-go-lucky fella. We got to see the real Zohran Mamdani last night during that victory address. All right, got to take a quick break here, folks. 901-260-5926, our number. That's 901-260-5926. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
In a world where our values are under fire, it's time to stand strong. That's why you should know about Old Glory Bank. Old Glory Bank is a bank that stands for faith, family, and freedom. A bank that won't cave to cancel culture. Your money, your values. So if you're tired of banks that won't stand up for your values, it's time to switch to Old Glory Bank. Head on over to oldglorybank.com/Starnes and make the change today.
For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Patriot Mobile's all-U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT, code Todd. Many college grads are anti-capitalist activists, so if you're a business owner, how do you find new employees who won't destroy your business? Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and that's where Red Balloon comes in. They're America's #1 pro-freedom job board, and they're shaking up the hiring world by focusing on values and mission-aligned talent. Now, there are two ways Red Balloon can help. You can post your job on their national job board. Over 20,000 people visit every week. Or you can hire Red Balloon Recruiter for a more customized talent search. Now, the Recruiter team is really fantastic. They start by learning your workplace culture and writing a custom job posting, and then they source and screen candidates from their national database. Their team conducts first interviews, and you get alerts when they find highly qualified candidates. And Red Balloon delivers these high-quality results at a fraction of traditional corporate recruiter prices. People are saying Red Balloon is a game changer. So check them out today, redballoon.work. Use the promo code STARNS and save $100 on Recruiter. Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Starnes. Stand by for news and commentary next.
From Affirm Films and director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story. When John O'Leary suffers burns over 100% of his body, it's a battle for survival. But through the care and support of community heroes, John's resilience leads him to discover what it means to truly live.
The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire.
Soul on Fire. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Now playing. More information is available at soulonfiremovie.com.
Soul on Fire. America's mayor is a Muslim. Zohran Mamdani elected in a landslide thanks to a coalition of immigrants and women with assorted piercings and magenta hair. Mamdani promised to dismantle the police department, abolish prisons, legalize prostitution. Now, his plan provides free public transportation, child care, health care, and gender reassignment surgeries, and he also wants to go into the grocery store business. His plan to pay for all of this by taxing the rich and white people. Mamdani quoted from two notorious socialists during his victory speech, his campaign smile replaced with an angry snarl. Not a single mention of George Washington or Thomas Jefferson or God. New York City is about to become a third world country, and I hate it for all the good folks living there, but elections have consequences. And for all of you northern refugees heading due south, just be aware that Tennessee is already full. You might try Nebraska. I'm Todd Starnes.
The Todd Starnes Show begins in 4 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's America's conservative blowtorch.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Todd Starnes.
Oh, yeah.
Are you feeling okay, everybody? Are you feeling good? I don't want people to panic here. I know there are a lot of folks that are very upset about what happened yesterday, and no doubt it was a bad day for Republicans, but I am still hopeful that we're going to get our footing and get back on the right track. Now, President Trump is blaming all of this on the filibuster, and he's calling on the Republicans to take action right now to do away with the filibuster, cut number 8.
It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so it's a long time.
Well, it is a long time, and the president does have a lot that he wants to get done. The question is, and the Republicans are pushing back hard, which is why they haven't done it. They don't have the votes yet. But should the Republicans abolish the filibuster to get President Trump's agenda pushed through? Trump's saying this is the holdup. We got to get rid of it. What say you? 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. I want to go to Clear Lake City, Texas. Mike is on the line, has a question about the mayor's race in New York City. Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Oh, hello. Say, I got a question for you. I got a couple of thoughts on that, but I had a question for you. I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around this. Sliwa, the Republican, should have dropped out because he took votes away from the independent, Cuomo. But yet when Ross Perot ran for president as an independent, he took votes away from Bush, the Republican. Explain that to me.
Well, look, Ross Perot, and this was back in 1992, and Ross Perot was a great businessman. I guess he had a lot in common with Donald Trump to some extent, but he was really a button-down kind of a guy. And he actually ran, I think, the most successful independent party campaign in modern American history. And if he would have kept it all together, Mike, I think Ross Perot could have won because people were so fed up with both political parties. But that's not what was going on in New York City. Cuomo was just running to run, and he had to run as an independent, which is why he did what he did. The reality is that people hate Cuomo. I mean, he's just really, the whole family is despised, and yeah, he got a lot of votes, but the reality is that Sliwa was just simply not qualified at the end of the day.
Well, I agree with you that, but the fact remains, Mondami got the Democrat nomination. Sliwa got the Republican nomination.
Yeah.
The way I see it, Cuomo and May Adams should have never been in the race to begin with.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And, I made that argument a few days ago because people were, the big dollar Republicans were pushing Sliwa to get out of the race, and they were offering him a lot of money. I mean, some of them were downright bribes. And I said, well, wait a second. Sliwa won his nomination. He won his right to be in the race. Cuomo, if you're going to talk about being the spoiler, Cuomo would have been the spoiler. But let me say this, Mike, even if Cuomo had gotten all of those votes, it still would not have been enough to win.
Well, he wouldn't have been a very good mayor anyway, like you say. You got too much baggage and so forth. But I think President Trump, back in the 90s, watched Ross Perot's success, and that's when the light bulb went off. I think he picked up on what Ross Perot, like you say, could have done if he would have been sincere and genuine and really followed through.
Well, he was a little slap crazy, wasn't he, Mike?
Yes, he was a little bit out there.
He had. Have you ever listened? Have you listened to Mark Levin at all on the radio?
Oh yeah.
It was basically Mark Levin's voice with a Texas twang, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, even though he's a fellow Texan, rest his soul. Yeah, he was a little bit out there.
Oh, look, I loved Ross Perot. He was a lot of fun, and he attracted a lot of young people, to his campaign. They were all The only reason Ross Perot jumped in was because H.W. Bush betrayed the American people. Remember the read my lips, no new taxes.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it has something to do with Perot funding some kind of military incursion during that time. But they all they wanted was his money and didn't want him involved in any of the decision making. But with that said, 85% of the people that voted for Mamdani have been in New York City less than 5 years. And when did the illegal alien invasion start?
That's it. I think the argument could be made that this is all a big setup. Oh, by the way, and let me tell you this, and Mike, God bless you. Thank you for calling in. The Republican leadership, you got Schumer and you've got Dollar Store Obama. They are now demanding a meeting with President Trump so they can reopen the government. You think that's really just a coincidence the day after the elections? This was all a setup from day one, all a setup. By the way, that rescue mission that Mike was talking about, this happened back in the 1970s when Ross Perot at the time was hired by the Shah of Iran to go in and install modern healthcare programs and computer systems, and that was Perot's business. And during, was it 1978, you had all the violent protests, and Perot started evacuating. He had about 130 employees and their families, and so they brought them all back. 2 of them ended up being held hostage, and so Perot decided to get them back. And he put together a military team to go out there and to bring his guys back home. So Ross Perot, there was actually a book written about it, I believe, called On Wings of Eagles. And the author, Ken Follett, it's a great read. Perot said, Follett said, if the rescue had not worked, I would have been portrayed as an idiot for having tried it, irresponsible for having gotten some of our people killed. I would have been in prison, and you sure as hell wouldn't be giving me an award. So that's... Oh, wow. What a great guy. Ross Perot, he was, a man's man, a true Texan. There you go. All right, let's go to Justin in Collierville, Tennessee, listening to us on KWAM. Hey, Justin, what's going on?
Hey, Todd. So I just wanted to comment on 2 things. The elections last night and the filibuster, and I believe the 2 things are tied in together. So I think they need to nuke the filibuster, and this is why. Because if they don't go through with Trump's agenda and while the Republicans have the majority, it's never going to happen. I think last night was an indicator of the kind of Democrat candidates that you're going to get. Also, I think it's an indicator of the Republican turnout that you're going to have in other states across America when Trump isn't on the ballot. Because if they sit around and wait until 2026 elections to get the things we need to get done, you're going to have a lot more radical Democrat party that's going to be in place. That's going to have a lot more radical candidates that have a chance to get in office. So this is what the Republicans always do. We get a majority, and they sit, and they don't do nothing. They don't do anything, and they don't go through with their. And typically, if we don't have Republicans that will lead with action, the base stays at home.
Justin, do you think that's what happened yesterday? Because it wasn't just New Jersey and Virginia. I mean, we're talking about every race around the country. Republicans, in most instances, had a really hard time either winning or they just flat out lost.
Well, I also think, so here's something that Charlie Kirk did, that Trump did is, and nobody wants to talk about this because they're scared of being called racist, is you have to motivate the young male white voter and talk to issues that resonate with them. And Republicans are so afraid of being called racist, but, that's your largest demographic that sent Trump to the White House was young male white voters. And we have to start talking. The Democrats pander to every single group. So why can't we pander to that group and talk to things that matter to them? So if there's always going to be apolitical and not talk about the issues as far as the demographics that's going to help the Republican Party win, they're going to keep losing.
No, I do not disagree with you at all there, and I think there is a lot of frustration. I think we have seen that this administration, really for the first 6 or 7 months, has been so focused on foreign policy. I think they need to be parking Air Force One and sticking around the continental U.S. and dealing with the problems at hand. And Justin, I think they've got to do a better job of communicating with those millennial voters and Gen Z voters who are just struggling right now financially. Many of them even already have full-time jobs, but they're not able, to put that down payment on a house. They're not able to buy that car used, new, or whatever. And I think a lot of people in that age demographic are really frustrated right now.
Yeah, and so I think this all goes back to, the more radical Muslim that you're getting in this country, like Madami, is because we don't have an immigration system that is vetting and keeping the people out that want to destroy America. And so for the economy, job market, you think about, and I'm going back to the young white male, the blue-collar jobs of constructions are gone because it's to illegal immigration, and now they're replacing everybody that's in the, specialized trade, the high-paying jobs with H-1B1 visas, and the White House is not addressing those issues. So why would I want to show up and vote for a Republican again if they're not doing anything to fix the economy, which is immigration?
So now you have, you've got Dinesh D'Souza and Vivek Ramaswamy. And Ramaswamy put out a video statement last night saying he was calling out identity politics, and D'Souza is as well. Of course, both Indian Americans. The problem I have is why are we bringing over so many Indian Americans to take jobs that Americans currently have and Americans are doing a fine job at?
Yeah, well, why are we dissipating? So how are we going to tell? So this is what I felt. When I watched the J.D. Vance and you started getting a lot of questions, like Ole Miss is the most conservative place that I think campus you'll find in America, and kind of a litmus test. And you had one after the other, the young white male was getting up and basically telling us the problems. So why would not address the issues to the base of our party, what they're dealing with? Because here's what's going to happen in 2026, and it may even happen with 2028. If we fail on our promises right now, they're going to sit at home, they're not going to vote, and then you're going to get some radical Democrat, like maybe if it's in a Madami as a president, or maybe it's even you're going to get a Justin Pearson for Congress, but you're going to keep getting those radical Democrats because they're just sick and tired of it. They are not going to vote for Republicans that are not cashing in promise. And, as far as identity politics, I don't like it because I'm a Christian. I believe everybody has the image of God. But I think you have to look at it as these different communities that are impacted across the United States economically. You have to address those issues.
No, you're right. And the good news is Mamdani was not born on American soil, so he is not qualified to be president of the United States. But there are plenty of other radicals who are. I think Gavin Newsom really thinks he's got a shot. And, the frightening thing here is you're going to have some good people. I know Kevin Kiley, Darrell Issa, among others, that will lose their congressional seats as a result of what they're about to do. And I'm concerned that other Republican states will not follow through and do away with their Democrat districts, as punishment for that. We will see. But again, those congressional seats in California are going away.
Well, we need to follow suit. So there's a big ruling in the Supreme Court that basically says you can redraw congressional state house lines based on race. So as far as gerrymandering on race, I think that's going to eventually go away. But on Republicans, we need to act, especially like states like Tennessee, we need to do the same thing as California's about to do, where they're going to draw it to only Democrats to win so we can pick up the same seats. But again, Republicans cannot drag their feet on this again, and I think it's showing because of their base. We need more politicians that are like Trump, that are going to go on the campaign trail. They're going to tell you what they're going to do and then follow them, even though I've been disappointed with Trump for this past year because he hasn't acted swiftly on things he should have.
All right, Justin, good thoughts. Got to leave it there, my friend. Thank you for calling in, and thanks for listening to the show today. 901-260-5926. Hey, during the break, I want you to go to kwamradio.com's website, kwamradio.com, kwamradio.com. And at the very top of the page, you'll see it. It is our affordable Christmas campaign. We are kicking it off today, and we're really excited about this wonderful opportunity to help kids that are from, very less fortunate financial situations. And one of the things we're doing is raising money to purchase brand new toys, and then their moms and dads will be able to purchase these toys at a fraction of the cost, still giving mom and dad the opportunity to purchase something for their children. If you would like to make a donation, and today, Landers Nissan, which is an incredible car dealership, Landers Nissan, they're offering to match every single gift today up to $7,500. And we would love it if you would lend us a helping hand. You can give online at kwamradio.com, or today, if you're in the North Mississippi area, you can drive over to Nissan, Landers Nissan, and you can make a donation in person. Also, you'll have a chance to win a $250 gift certificate to Mesquite Chop House. That donated by a good friend of this radio program. His name is Jim Lasapio, and he is the owner of many, many restaurants around the Mid-South and just a great American patriot. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Sane talk in an insane world. Todd Starnes.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. You know you have lots of choices for cell phone service with new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American and believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that's Patriot Mobile. The good news is you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. Worried about coverage? Don't be. Patriot Mobile uses all three major U.S. networks. If you have service in this country today, you'll have as good or better coverage with Patriot Mobile. Think switching is a hassle? Well, it's not. You can keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile's 100% U.S.-based team will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Stuck in a contract or owe money on your phones? No worries. Patriot Mobile has a contract buyout program. This is how we win, folks, by aligning our spending with our values. Every dollar we spend matters. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Todd and get a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and there's no better time to get in shape than right now. That's why I'm really excited that Calitrin is part of my weight loss campaign. Here's my friend Elizabeth from Calitrin.
That's right. It can be overwhelming when you see the number on the scale and you've got, 30, 40, 50, even 100 pounds to lose. But y'all, the hardest part is just getting started, and Calitrin's going to help you do that. You're going to lose the weight the right way, without drugs, without stimulants, so it's safe with all your medications, and where you can maintain it and keep it off even after you get off the product. So go to the website right now, toploss.com. You're going to see there's a huge sale with discounts on every single month of Calitrin, $10 off every single bottle. It's at toploss.com, or you can call us with questions toll-free, 833-TOP-LOSS.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and be sure to use that promo code TODD.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Get hurt in a game?
we tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Dylan, I have a question for you. Do you like Hooters?
Wow, what a question.
The restaurant chain.
Okay. I haven't been in a minute.
Right. You know, so do you remember how old you were-ish when you you went to the Hooters for the first time?
Probably 10. Don't tell my parents that I'm telling you this.
Oh my God.
It wasn't like one of those like trips, but it was just like I went into Hooters and I ate their food.
Okay. Well, they got good wings.
Yeah.
You know, I hear that the chicken breast sandwich is pretty good too.
There it is.
Anyway.
Delicious.
Hooters has fallen on hard times, though, and the original owners bought back Hooters. And one of the problems, people were really, the outfits were getting a bit risque, and they were basically making the waitresses wear what was, in essence, a thong as the bottom, as opposed to shorts. So anyway, the old owners decided to pool their money, and they bought back Hooters, and they're now in the effort of re-Hooterization. This is the actual term, re-Hooterization. And they're returning the girls back to the original uniforms, which is basically shorts and the T-shirts. And they feel like that's going to, make it more family-friendly. And who doesn't love family-friendly Hooters? I mean, God bless America. So anyway, we'll see how that turns out. For $700 million in sales, so not bad at all. And they're heading in the right direction. All right, 901-260-5926, our telephone number. This is the Todd Stern Show.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm not a young guy, and I'm an ex-athlete. Well, yeah, when I was taking it, I recognized that I was feeling better. You know what I'm saying? And just mentally knowing is important also.
I am a customer of you guys. I love your product. Love it, love it. Nothing but good things to say about your product. I love it. And as long as y'all don't sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
Yeah, whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Hey, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time, and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
There was a survey that was conducted a little earlier this year, in March actually, and they talked to young people under the age of 30. This was conducted by the Cato Institute and YouGov. And it was a very simple question about socialism and what they thought about it. I'm just going to say this. I don't think any kid in America knows the definition of the isms, whether it be socialism or communism. But when they see that they're not able to do things their age that their parents were able to do at that age, these kids are getting very frustrated. And a lot of them are working their butts off. Some of them working 2 jobs, and they still can't afford the down payment for a house. They can't afford to move out of their parents' home in many cases, and it's really frustrating for these kids. Then they see somebody coming along who's actually talking to them about those very issues. And that was one of the big problems in this mayor's race in New York City, for example. You had Curtis Lewa promising to take care of pussycats, and then you had Andrew Cuomo, who was hanging out there, in the Hamptons with all the rich and famous people. And then you had Zohran Mamdani, who communicated a message to these very disenfranchised voters, and he connected with them. Now, the fact of the matter is he's not going to be able to deliver on any of these promises at all, but that's not the point. The point is that he was listening to them and he was connecting with them. And I'm not throwing shade here. I'm just talking about the optics of it all. So when you've got an economy where people are hurting, farmers are dealing with big problems right now, and you've got the White House saying, we're going to reach out and we're going to save the Argentinian farmers, the cattle farmers. When you see the White House announcing that they're building the big, beautiful ballroom, and I'm all for that. When you see the lavish Halloween Great Gatsby party at Mar-a-Lago leading up to this election cycle, you throw in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I think you have a frustrated and somewhat demoralized voter base right now. And I think it's all going to get better. And again, I've got no problem with any of the buildings of the ballrooms or the parties at Mar-a-Lago. But it's the optics of it all, especially when young people are suffering, and they are. We're going to talk more about this tonight on Newsmax. But anyway, going back to the survey that was conducted in March by Cato and YouGov, they found 62% of American adults under the age of 30 say they hold a favorable view of socialism. 62%. Now, I want you to understand something here. Your country's about to change, ladies and gentlemen, because that number is not going down. And the reason why it's not going down is that the public education system here, and I would dare say many private schools too, they're teaching the kids that there's something wrong with capitalism and that the solution is socialism or communism. Now, when people were asked, do you have a favorable or unfavorable view of communism? Well, 66% said that they find that to be unfavorable. But these kids, they don't know what these words mean. And all they see are free things. That, you know what, Zohran Mamdani, he's going to make sure that I'm not having to pay more for rent in my New York City, apartment. Or, you know what, Zohran Mamdani is going to make sure I'm going to be able to go to the doctor. I won't have to pay anything. They don't understand that there's nothing free. Somebody has to pay for that stuff. They don't get that. Now, the Cato Institute says the poll did not define socialism, leaving it up to the respondents to determine what the term meant. He noted that regardless of which of the many definitions of socialism the respondents may have had in mind, all forms of socialism share a disdain for capitalism. Now, this is interesting because, as Campus Reform points out, support for socialism and communism among 18 to 29-year-olds exceeds that of the general population and past polls of young people. 2019, 52% of those surveyed held a positive view of socialism. In 2020, the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation commissioned a poll by YouGov. They found 49% of Gen Z held a favorable opinion of the term socialism. So what you're watching here is a growing number of American young people that are willing to embrace something called socialism. And I don't think that moms and dads are having those kinds of conversations around their dinner table. I just don't think that. I don't think that's happening. I think they're learning all of this in their public school classrooms. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. Curious to get your thoughts on that. I want to play some audio here. This is Scott Jennings from last night weighing in on Mamdani. Cut number 4, please.
Scott? Oh, are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago. Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the? Look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them. I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote: "No problem too large for government to solve."
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can. I think this was a divisive speech, and he clearly sees the world in terms of the people who are oppressing you and the oppressed. And he said the oppressed are now in City Hall.
Yeah, they sure are. As a matter of fact, here's that quote from Eugene Debs, who was the founder of the Socialist Party of America. Cut 2.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
Wow. All right. Now, here is some audio. This is from Zohran Mamdani when he was in his 20s. We don't know how old he was, 5 years ago, so his late 20s. And he explains in this video, very well produced, what exactly socialism is. Take a listen.
Socialism. Terrifying word. A lot of people are afraid of the word socialism, and a lot of people have misconceptions about what it means. I'm a democratic socialist, and what socialism means to me is a commitment to dignity, a state that provides whatever is necessary for its people to live a dignified life. So the typical big 3 that we talk about are housing, healthcare, education. But frankly, if you look around in the moment of this pandemic, we see how many more things are necessary to live with a dignified life. We need our internet because we have all of our kids staying at home doing remote learning. And if you don't have internet, you can't be taught, you can't learn. Whether it's childcare, whether it's public transportation, whether it's our utilities, whether it's our housing, whether it's our healthcare, these are not things that should be up for debate. Because we see what happens when we let the market be the sole determinant of the distribution of dignity. It picks and chooses people who can survive and people who can thrive. It is up to us here across New York to make it very clear that every single one of us deserves a shot, that an injury to one is an injury to all, that our future is built on the notion of solidarity.
Well, that's a little taste of what Zohran Mamdani thinks of. You know, isn't it nice? So you put a cool little funky music track and like, oh, wow, socialism's cool. I'm not scared of socialism anymore. Woohoo! Just here, take over my business, government. Here you go. Here are the keys, Uncle Sam. But when you actually break it on, first of all, socialism's never worked at all. It just never has. And ultimately, the government, and in this case, it'll be New York City, the New York City government will own or control all the means of production there in the Big Apple. And you watch how quickly things are going to start to unravel. If you want to go and check out a Broadway show, you might want to do that before January 1 when Zohran Mamdani puts his hand on the, what is he going to put his hand on? Could it be the Quran? Will the next mayor of New York City be sworn into office with a copy of the Quran? That is a legitimate question, ladies, and I just thought about that as I was, whoops. And again, you know, Robin Poppett in the early part of the show, and Robin is really fired up about this. She was there on 9/11, and if you know your history about 9/11, she was the very first national news reporter to go on the air. It was with ABC, or I believe it was ABC News, and she's the one who announced that the planes had flown into the buildings because she was there in Lower Manhattan. And she was an eyewitness to all of that terror. So she takes this very, very personally. And again, among many, many New Yorkers and many Americans who lived through all of that, to know that Zohran Mamdani, a man who has been photographed smiling, grinning ear to ear with unindicted co-conspirators of the 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center, and to know that that man is going to be there in Lower Manhattan on 9/11, the 25th anniversary of 9/11. Wow. It's enough to get folks riled up. It really is. Okay, 901-260-5926 is our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. You know, you got a lot of choices when it comes to cell phone service, a lot. But I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Patriot Mobile because they boldly stand in the gap for every American. They believe freedom is worth fighting for. And man, do they have a great cell phone. It really is amazing. And the good news is that you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. And if you're worried about coverage, don't be, because Patriot Mobile uses all three major U.S. networks. So if you have service in the country today, you're going to have good or better service with Patriot Mobile. And switching is so easy. You get to keep your number. You get to keep your phone. You can even upgrade. And their customer service team is 100% U.S.-based. No H-1B visas, folks. As a matter of fact, the best part about it, they speak English. You're going to be able to understand them, and they're going to get you activated in just minutes. And if you're stuck in a contract where you owe money on your phone, no worries. Patriot Mobile has a contract buyout program. So here's how it works. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd. You can also call them 972-PATRIOT. You're going to be speaking to an American who speaks English. That's 972-PATRIOT. Use my promo code TODD, T-O-D-D. You're going to get a free month of service. Again, patriotmobile.com/Todd. Call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code TODD, and you're going to get a free month of service.
Honest and true. Todd Starnes.
Hey folks, Todd Starnes here. What's your plan when the smartest investors who never lose pile into gold and silver? They're buying now, watching value climb. Are you okay with missing out, seeing them thrive while you wait? Vault U.S. Gold is the answer. Trusted by pros. They offer gold IRAs to secure your retirement, and gold and silver delivered, shipped, and insured to your door. Want to roll over your 401k? Well, their experts make it seamless, honest every step. Why Vault U.S.? Well, they're steady, reliable, no tricks, just value. Gold's hot. Don't regret sitting this out. Call 833-511-GOLD. That's 833-511-4653. Or visit vaultusgold.com/Todd for a free investor kit. That's 833-511-GOLD or 833-511-4653 and get your free investor kit. And say Todd Starnes sent you. Vault U.S. Gold. Buy smart, win big.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies and fiber and spice supplements. Our ingredients are 16 whole fruits, 15 whole vegetables, 4 powerful fibers, and 12 aromatic spices. It's one irresistible combo.
Oh, I have a friend, Julia, who has taken a Balance of Nature now for quite some time, and she said, "Oh, Becky, ask your doctor about taking Balance of Nature." So I talked to my doctor about it, and she said, "Oh, try it."
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Don't wait. Now's the time to take action. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. and you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, let's go to the phone lines here. Steve in Little Rock, Arkansas. Hi, Steve. What's going on?
Hey, Todd. It's been a while since I called, but I've been listening.
Well, thank you.
All this talk about socialism and everything, I think you know I've called enough that I'm a right conservative. I'm so far right and so conservative, I consider Donald Trump too liberal.
Wow.
But with all that said, what do you think about the idea that so much of the leadership of this world getting behind socialism and the strength that socialism is building in communism? When people look out there at what the job situation is going to be with the way technology is going, the way AI is going, the way all this stuff is taking jobs away, what other choice are we going to have?
It's interesting.
I don't hear enough talk about what type of jobs and what type of civil responsibilities and stuff people are going to have to do when AI. I mean, this stuff in my lifetime, I see all the jobs that's gone away, and it's just now getting on the road.
So, Steve, do you remember Joe Biden back in 2019 on the campaign trail, and he was in coal country, and he told the coal miners, basically he was going to be shutting down their industry, and he told the coal miners to learn code. Do you remember when he did that?
I remember exactly.
Well, it turns out they're going to have to learn something else because, to your point, AI is already erasing many entry-level coding jobs. So, I mean, to your point, AI is taking over a lot of stuff, including, believe it or not, some radio stations actually employ AI to do things like newscast and DJs, the whole nine yards.
Mm-hmm. They aren't far away from, instead of paying you to air your talk show, they just buy an AI software, a talk show software, and they plug it in.
All right, those are fighting words. Fighting words, Steve.
I'm just pointing out that's coming for almost everybody.
Yeah.
Technology started out just taking the repetitive, simple labor jobs, but it's going way past that. And I would love to hear more talk from our leaders about what is civilization going to look like 25, 50 years from now. What will be considered a good-paying job? What are those jobs going to be?
Steve, you've given us something to think about, my friend, and it is good hearing from you. I was driving through your town the other day on my way to Branson, by the way.
Well, it's I live north of the Little Rock area, and you may have come real close to my house.
Well, may have. I got to tell you, though, those speed traps down through some of those towns, my goodness.
Well, times are getting hard. That's part of their budget.
That's no doubt about it. All right, Steve, you take care of yourself. Good hearing from you. Wow. You know, Dylan, I was fiddling around with the Chat GPT thing, you know, and I thought, I wonder what a Todd Starnes column would look like. Mm-hmm. And I tried to insert words like slobberknocker and badonkadonk, and the thing just like it froze.
Right. Yeah,
I had to
it's not used to your language.
I had to restart my computer. I don't think they're going to be able to.
They can't replicate you, Todd.
I'm
impossible.
No. I'm special.
I don't think it knows what Jeezaloo is.
Jeezaloo, yeah. It's like, woo, kaboom.
Yep.
It is what it is. I think America can only handle one Todd Starnes.
Yep.
But I was kind of getting nervous here. Steve had me getting worried. I don't want an AI version of Todd Starnes out there.
Right. How much is AI Todd going to get paid?
Oh, that's a good question. But can AI Todd do a show and eat Dr. Pepper flavored jelly beans?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Not as good as you.
No. I love Dr. Pepper. Not sure I'm loving the Dr. Pepper jelly beans.
It's like fake Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I feel like I have like a pound of sugar in my mouth right now.
It's because you do.
Probably so. All right, we got to leave it there, folks. Tomorrow, that's right, we will have a fill-in host. I'm on the road to Orlando. I'll be phoning in during the show, though, so we'll have a great time. You'll have a great time without me. Tonight, 5 o'clock Eastern, be sure to watch The Todd Starnes Show on Newsmax. And as always, check out ToddStarnes.com. Be good, America.
From director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story.
They said you had no chance, but here you are.
Starring Joel Courtney, John Corbett, Stephanie Shostak, Macy McLean, with Devon Franklin and William H. Macy.
If you focus exactly on loving the life that you're living right now, and not the life that you think you could have had or should have had, that's the whole deal right there.
Soul on Fire, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now